Now, listen, let's drop some facts here. Remember I said my uncle, my dad's brother, was cop for a long time and then became the sheriff in Victoria? Now, remember this. I told you that he abused my dad when he was growing up and kept harassing him, locked him up a bunch of times. And I also told you when those other pedo cops down there pulled us up and fucking tried to murder us when we were sleeping in the car, when they seen that name on the license, Ditko, they're like, oh fucking shit, did you know Herbie? Yeah. Dad's like, yeah, that's my brother. And like, right, fucking have a good day. They were shit scared of this cunt, right? Now, if they're shit scared of him and he's supposed to be a cop like them, and also now he became that sheriff, meaning he was, higher up, and he fucking had a lot of money, Uncle Herbie, right? So ask yourself this: is my Uncle Herbie, who works with the police, and Daniel 3:2-10 tells you that all police are pedophile witches who worship Molech, ask yourself this: does it not make sense that in fact my Uncle Herbie might have had something to do with everything that happened to me in my life and the murder of my dad, and in fact everything else, because clearly to do the things that he'd done and the career path that he'd taken, that would prove that he's like a Mason or some other kind of corrupt, evil cult member, right? And remember, my dad talked to other people in his family. He even talked to Herbie's kids from time to time, but he didn't ever fucking talk to Herbie. Weird, huh? And I only ever met him at my dad's funeral, and he gave a shit cunt energy then too. Even when Dad was laying in that casket, he had no fucking respect. Ridiculous. He never even came and seen him when he was in the hospital dying, and he lived like a fucking 50 kilometers away. What does that tell you? But he visited him when he was dead. Seems pretty fucking suspicious, don't you think? And like the last video I made, guess who's related to him? The cousin who opened the IT company, the one who's putting in the patents. Not a fucking smart guy, yet he seems to stalk me everywhere I go. That's pretty fucking suspicious. Maybe I was just overlooking a few things. I was looking further away from home. I was looking at all the other evil, because I just classed evil as evil, right? Fucking no skin off my nose. If you're evil, you're evil. I don't care who you are or where you come from. But realistically, doesn't it make sense that it all started with Uncle fucking Herbie? I'm pretty sure it does, actually. And begs the question, because Dad never told me in full the stories that he abused him. But remember I told you of him trying to kill my dad before I died, and then trying to kill me, and you've seen him try to kill me repeatedly and steal from me and whatnot. So the only people that have somewhat of an idea of what's supposed to take place in the future is God and these pedo cults, right? Because they pass that information on over the years. Now, here's the thing about that, right? How much money am I worth that my family would keep trying to murder me? Why do they try and murder my dad? Why do they try to stop me from existing? What was in existence for me before I was born? Well, it can't just be that I'm Jesus and God. There has to be something more to it, right? Oh, wait. If they could steal my thoughts and stuff because they were related to me, then they would make exponential money, because everything in the world was created through my thoughts. Everything in the world was created through my inventions, right? That were stolen from me. No other motherfucker created them. Even you look at the movies, and if you really knew anything about my life or any past lives that I'd had, you could clearly fucking see, even just in this one life alone, because history repeats, right? So in the one life alone, all these movies these cunts made really depicts as it happened in this life also, right? Because until the job gets completed, every life is the same. Now, I'd already done all that shit, so I didn't have to do it this time, but I did it this time because this was the very end. I wasn't doing it again. After this, there's no earth, right? So, yeah, follow the pattern and see. Clearly, my uncle is some kind of Masonic cult member, and what the fuck did he know about me that he kept trying to murder my dad and my dad and me? And here's another question, right? Because obviously he had interactions with my dad when he was younger, so that also then begs the fucking question, was my dad actually even my dad, or was my Uncle Herbie actually my dad? Did my Uncle Herbie rape my mum? Questions, mate, questions. Because right after I was fucking born, they left Victoria and came to Queensland. They lived there their whole fucking lives, from when they come from overseas until the day I was born. And the very day that I was born, they packed up and moved to Queensland. Now, don't you find that suspicious?